Welcome back to another explainer. So today we're unpacking something pretty massive, the actual architecture required to cultivate and, more importantly, protect enduring family prosperity. If you've ever sat around wondering how real wealth actually survives and thrives across multiple generations, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Let's get right into it.
Because honestly, it really all comes down to this one incredibly high-stakes question. How do you build wealth that actually outlasts you? It's a core challenge that trips up so many people. Creating a lasting financial legacy, it's not a happy accident. It takes highly intentional design.
Okay, let's dive into this blueprint. We're going to build our strategy on 4 key pillars today: defining financial longevity, education before inheritance, acquiring appreciating assets, and finally, protecting the legacy.
All right, let's lay the foundation with part 1, defining financial longevity. You know, before we start building anything, we need to know exactly what it is we're aiming for. And financial longevity is precisely defined here as cultivating and protecting enduring family prosperity over several decades. Really focus on that timeline for a second. This is the absolute polar opposite of some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a slow, methodical cultivation process. Think of it like planting a massive orchard that you might never personally get to harvest.
Now, to actually hit that multi-decade timeline, we have to navigate a pretty stark contrast in mindsets. Every single day, you're weighing immediate personal spending against the future security of your heirs. It's tough, right? It means actively prioritizing the safety net of the generations that come after you, rather than giving in to that constant temptation of instant gratification right now. So the crucial point is that this approach absolutely demands a collective commitment. You cannot do this solo. To pull this off, you need an ongoing, unified dedication to long-term stability across the whole family unit. We're talking about a team effort here, not just individuals going off and independently chasing short-term windfalls. Which brings us right into part 2, education before inheritance. This part is always so fascinating to me because the very first actionable step in wealth transfer, it actually has nothing to do with moving money. It's all about preparing the people. Successors need that early education. They have to be taught how to manage capital with literal ironclad discipline and a deep sense of financial responsibility. Because let's face it, if the heirs aren't prepared, the legacy is going to collapse, completely regardless of how massive the inheritance actually is.
Okay, so now that the people are prepared, we can move to part 3, acquiring appreciating assets.
And this brilliantly illustrates the critical strategic transition we have to make. We've got to shift away from just relying on standard employment, where you're simply trading your time for a wage. And we need to pivot heavily toward acquiring appreciating assets. We are specifically talking about shifting towards commercial ventures and property.
Just so we're all on the exact same page, appreciating assets are investments, like those commercial ventures and property we just mentioned, that are targeted specifically for wealth generation. These are your tangible engines of growth. They compound over time, which makes them absolutely crucial vehicles for sustaining your family across decades. They do the heavy lifting for you.
Right, so you've educated the heirs, you've acquired the assets. What comes next? Well, part 4, protecting the legacy. Because building the wealth, that's really only half the equation. Now you have to actively prevent the erosion of those riches. There's this natural, almost gravitational pull for fortunes to slowly dissipate if they're left unprotected. I mean, think about it. Taxes, inflation, maybe just poor management. There are countless forces out there constantly trying to chip away at family wealth. Let's see how this builds into our defense strategy. To maintain the fortress, we really need 2 highly specific maneuvers. First up, implement rigorous estate planning. Your legal structures, they have to be absolutely ironclad. Second, and honestly, this is usually the hardest one, you must avoid unnecessary lifestyle expansion. Just because the wealth is sitting there doesn't mean you suddenly need a fleet of luxury cars in the driveway. The family spending shouldn't relentlessly expand just to consume whatever's been built. When we zoom all the way out, the ultimate rule of this entire blueprint is pretty clear. Long-term stability is always greater than short-term gains. From educating your kids, to buying property, to capping your lifestyle, every single decision has to be dedicated to the long game. No exceptions.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to wrap up with. When you look at your own financial architecture, ask yourself, are you really building for tomorrow or are you just spending for today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this blueprint gave you some solid insights to work with, and I will catch you on the next one.